Good morning, gorgeous people. How are you doing today? Lovely to share this Friday experience with you. I hope you are all keeping well. Let me just get my phone up so I can see who's commenting. Bear with. You would have thought I'd be more organized, but no. Aha. Turn my sound off. Hi, Tracy, lovely. How are you doing? I hope you're doing okay. And hi, Melanie. Lovely to have you here as always. So I hope you have your sacred space set up. I've prepared my space today. I have just been burning some sage. I've got some candles lit. And I just took a moment to get centered. and listen to some music to really connect me back in. I've had a busy week with client calls and yeah, we've it's been a lovely week, a really lovely week, but I feel like I need this. I won't lie. Full moon is well today. Um, so sometimes that can pull our energy a little bit off. So I thought we would start with a card pull, inspire our journey ahead for the next hour. If you haven't already, I invite you to create a little sacred space and identify 3 things that will represent, that one jumped out, that will represent, so 3 things that will represent the life you want to create. Everything comes down to intention and attention. Where our focus goes, energy flows. So it's really important we get clear on where is it we're trying to get to? What is the, I don't even want to say end goal, but what is the life we're hoping to live? What is the health we're hoping to embody? How does that feel in the body? Because the more we can identify that, the more we can step into that, the more we can show up for that. So yeah, pick 3 things that are just going to inspire you in terms of representing what it is you're trying to create. Oh, I love that. I've made a start to making my wee space. I love that. Fabulous. Oh, Melanie, backache still at the moment. Lovely. Well, you can lay down for this. Don't feel like you've got to be, as with all my meditations, don't feel like you've got to be in some kind of lotus position. I spent many years doing my meditation practice on the train to London. So don't feel like it's got to look a certain way or be a certain way. And your card for today, or the card to leave you with, as we start our closing ceremony, is Divine Wisdom. Very apt. That card jumped out really clearly. And this says to us, it's a phrase I use a lot, Divine Wisdom. You have the divine wisdom of the universe available to you at all times. As you may know, you are deeply connected to and are an expression of the divine light of the universe. This divine light has within it the powerful knowledge and wisdom of the cosmos. This light is all-knowing, wise, and all-loving, intelligent light. You are reminded at this time that this wisdom is at your fingertips, that you are made up of this wisdom, and that it runs through your blood. You can access it at will. If you have been searching for answers and guidance from sources outside of yourself, it's now time to look inward. It's time to tune in, connect to, and become aware of the divine wisdom that lies within. Trust the calling to deepen and awaken this aspect of yourself as you start to also trust the wisdom that comes through. Take a moment in a quiet place, ask yourself questions, and listen to the voice inside your head offering the answers and singing the song of divine wisdom. The answers lie within the chambers of your own heart. Sometimes it can be challenging bypassing those crazy thoughts in your head in order to get to the heart. However, once you have got that feeling in your body that everything is just right, you will know you are there. Then it is a matter of trusting the process as it grows stronger, to use it just like a muscle. It's your time to flex your heart and listen to the divine wisdom it has to offer. It pulsates through every cell of your being, ready and waiting for you to awaken to its calling. And the affirmation is, I am aligned to the divine wisdom of the universe, and it flows through me in abundance. That's so true. And it just makes me think of why I called my business Your Inner Truth. When I have been meditating for a while, what my initial introduction, well, not my initial introduction, but when I really went into the depth of meditation, one of the lineages I was really immersed in was Zen meditation. And Zen has some beautiful insight meditations to help you access that inner wisdom. And I found it so inspiring, this that there's this whole well of knowledge within us that we barely make use of. And when you do, your life completely transforms. It's that tapping into your inner truth. So that seems like a beautiful card to start us off today. And we're going to do a couple of things today, both in terms of meditation, visualization, around one, releasing. Like I say, it's the full moon. The full moon is the perfect time to release. So we're releasing that wellness seeker, that part of you that might be feeling scattered or feels like she doesn't have the answers or doesn't know which way to turn, trying to do it all herself, trying to be everything to everyone, not valuing who she is, her worth, her the importance she has on the people around her and on this world. And then we're really going to start stepping into that self healer, setting our intentions, making a point of connecting in with that version of us that's already got it sorted, that version of us that's already showing up as the self healer, collapsing time so that we can be there now and seeing what she is doing now so that we can start embodying that and living our life in line with that. That can sound a bit esoteric, but the thing is, we always have to start with the end in mind. If we don't know where we're heading or what it is we're trying to create or what it is we want to manifest, then is there a way it can come into being? Yes, but it's going to be very messy, very uncharted territory, and is likely to cause a lot more pain and suffering along the way. So if we can start with the end in mind, figure out what we're doing when we're already in the space of feeling happy, healthy, vibrant, abundant, and start living like that now, then we'll be able to collapse that time space and show up as the self-healer, not waiting till we get there. So I hope that sounds lovely to you. So take a moment to get ready while I have a sip of my tea. Not sure what tea I've got today. Turmeric tea today. And before we even dive into the meditation, I invite you to take a moment to just have a look around the room that you're sat in. And we're just going to notice what brings you pleasure, what actually brings you joy. We can be so hardwired to notice the negatives, the things that we want to change, that we can forget to actually appreciate and enjoy what is here now. So right now I'm looking at the peacock feathers that are on top of my fireplace, noticing the beautiful texture, the colours, and the overall shape they make as they're all bunched together. Sometimes it's the simplest things that can bring us pleasure in a moment. And allow your eyes to just wander and see if there's anything else that sparks your interest, anything else that brings that sense of joy, allowing our nervous systems to calm down as we come back to what's going on here, what's going on now. I can see on top of my cupboard there's a candle flickering, watching the light dance within the glass, the warm glow. If you notice your attention starts to fade, see if you can bring it back. Get curious with what you're looking at. And again, just allowing your attention to gaze around the room, anything else that captures your eye. Something that feels good in the body. Notice how the body responds when you find something of interest. And can now see my salt lamp glowing. Such a beautiful object. And you can take a moment to perhaps stretch your neck. If you've been sat looking at a screen, or perhaps you just slept funny, getting out any kinks before we begin. And just noticing how that feels in the body, that feeling of connecting inward. Again, connecting with what feels good. Letting go of any observation of pain and just noticing what actually feels good to do. You might find like a little sweet spot, a little stretch that feels really nice. Feel free to sit with that. Connecting with that feeling of pleasure. And then taking a moment to get comfy. You may want a cushion, a blanket. I've got my nice shawl today because it makes me feel cozy. I'm going to put a cushion on my lap for my hands so they're not stooping, and have a sip of my tea. Beautiful, Melanie. Love that. And I invite you now to take a moment to close your eyes or soften your gaze. And bring your attention to the breath in the belly. And just noticing that gentle rise and fall, like waves washing up on a beach. Moving in and out. And noticing if you're trying to control the breath in any way. And see if you can let that go. Notice if you're trying to make it more steady or more deep. And see if you can allow it to be whatever it is in this moment. Knowing it to be already perfect. Accepting it to be whatever it is. You may start to notice, what is it doing in this moment? Is it moving quickly? Or is it more slow? Do you feel it more in the belly? Or is there more movement in the top of the chest? And notice if any of these factors change once you become aware of them. Not trying to change anything at all, not labeling one as better than the other, but getting curious. And we're going to connect in now with the lower three chakras. The first one being between the base of the spine and the bottom of the pubic bone. The next one further up in our womb space, between the pubic bone and the navel. And the next one being at the bottom of the ribs and in between there and the navel, our solar plexus. This is the area of the body that's interested in survival, our own self, our place of ego. There's nothing wrong with that. We need this level of safety in our life, this identity, this barrier that keeps us safe in our own skin. And just connecting in with this area of the body. Noticing if there's anywhere that feels uncomfortable, heavy, stuck, blocked. Noticing how the energy feels in this area of the body. Is it fast or slow? Is it dull or sensitive? Allow yourself to get curious. And if at any point you get distracted, pulled into thought, or your attention loses its intensity, then just notice and gently come back to this area of the body, of the first three chakras. And I invite you to imagine that within this space, there lives your inner wellness seeker, the part of you that's operating from a place of fear. And just notice, you might imagine what she looks like, how she feels, maybe how old she is. You may see her as a person or an energy, a shape, a color. There's part of you that's undervaluing who she is. And it's putting other people's needs before her own. The people pleasing. The strive to want to be more. Of not feeling good enough. Feel or see or sense her within you in this area of the body. Trying to keep you safe, trying to control. A bit like a child just going about it the wrong way. so scared of being found out, being rejected. Now I want you to imagine that you're sending her love now. Imagine love pouring from your heart space into this image of your inner wellness seeker, this frightened part of you that just never feels enough. You may see, sense, or feel this love flowing into her. And you notice that as the love pours in, her posture changes. Instead of cowering, she begins to stand tall. She's radiating that feeling of self-love, self-worth, and she begins to grow, rising up into the heart space as she embodies her self-worth, rising up further into the throat chakra as she owns and speaks her truth and communicates her needs. Rising up into the third eye as she trusts herself, that inner wisdom, that inner knowing. And rising up further still into the crown chakra as she realizes she's connected to all of us. That this part of her lives within every single one of us. It's up to us to choose whether we believe those self-doubts, or whether we embody this feeling of self-love. And take a moment to really connect in with that energy of her rising into self-love, into communicating her needs, into her knowing of her inner wisdom, into her connection with everyone else. See your wellness seeker rise into the self-healer. Take a moment to just enjoy this feeling, this inner power, this full embodiment of your worth. And coming to the area of the third eye now. And breathing into this space. And with each breath you take, you feel the energy build in the center of the brow. You may imagine it as a light or just feel the feeling as it projects out in front of you, creating a tunnel. And you start to walk through this tunnel, noticing a door at the other end. Start to notice how that looks. What's the door made from? What kind of handle does it have? Before reaching down, taking the handle and opening the door. And as you open the door, you see that you're up in the air. All you can see is blue sky and clouds dotted out in front of you. You feel frozen with fear, stuck on this precipice, on this edge of the doorway. And then you remember the self-healer within you, and you jump. And as you jump, you begin to fall. But all of a sudden, you begin to fly. You're flying through the clouds, this beautiful blue sky. You may even go through the clouds, noticing how those feel on your skin, how the air feels up here. And give yourself a moment to enjoy this. It's flying around, feeling free. Everything feels effortless as you glide through the sky. And you see below you, there's a road. And you start to fly down towards the road, but still hovering fairly high. You notice someone beneath you, standing on that road. It's you. Notice how you're looking, dressing, and realize it's exactly what you're wearing today. This is you in this moment, right now. But as you look ahead this road, you notice there's lots of other people up ahead. And you begin to fly forwards and realize these are all different parts of you at different times in the future. You continue flying, passing you in a few weeks' time, then in 8 weeks' time, 16 weeks' time, all the way forward to you in 6 months' time. And you realize you absolutely love who you are in 6 months' time. Float down now So you can really look at this version of you. You may begin to notice what she's wearing. How has she got her hair? Is she wearing makeup or perhaps not? How is she holding herself? What energy is coming from her? And she begins to tell you all about her life now. And you realize it was everything you had intended. All of those intentions that have been in your heart that you hadn't given a chance to acknowledge. She tells you how she spends her days, how she looks after herself first thing in the morning, what she does to nourish her mind, nourish her body, nourish her soul. She tells you about the people in her life that support her and lift her up. She tells you about everything that is inspiring her at the moment, what she's passionate about, what is driving her. And you realize she's not talking about self-love or self-compassion or her worth, because she's already embodying it. It's a given. She's already made that choice. And next, she begins to share with you what she did to get here, the decisions she made, the actions she took, how she chose to show up. Allow her to share that with you now. And as she shares her words with you, you notice that you feel these little seeds being planted within you. And you've just got to nurture them to allow them to grow into this version of you in 6 months' time. I'm feeling inspired with everything she shared with you. You feel a new sense of abundance, a new sense of excitement, and so looking forward to your journey ahead. You bid her goodbye. You might even give her a hug. She wishes you luck on your journey. And you begin to fly back to the doorway, soaring all the way up through those clouds, noticing the textures on the way, the feeling of the air. Maybe taking one last breath of this beautiful clean air before entering back into the doorway, closing it behind you, knowing that you now have everything you need to be this version of you in 6 months' time. I'm walking back through the tunnel now, back into the body, and starting to notice the feeling of the ground or the chair beneath you. And starting to open your eyes, coming back into the outside world. So lovelies. Where are you in 6 months' time? And what are the actions you're taking to get you there? What choices are you making? What did she share with you? I would love to know. I have to admit, I love that imagery of flying through the clouds. I feel like I've just been out for a walk. My body does. So yeah, share with me what came through for you. And what I invite you to start thinking about is, how are you going to keep this alive? What can you put in place to remember this version of you, and to show up from this place and to live from this place? This version of you that absolutely owns her worth, that there's no question about it. It's just who she is. The part of you that shows up for herself, that does what needs to be done to take care of her. Oh, who said that, Tracy? So powerful. You had no makeup on. Your hair was naturally flowing. You were free. Oh, God, I love that. So how can you start showing up as that version of you now? This is going to be the last task I leave you with. And I want you to get really clear on this. We often think that, it's like that I'll be happy when, or I'll be the self-healer when. No, you're the self-healer now. You just need to embody this version of you now. And don't let anything stand in the way of that. Not those little voices within you that tell you you're not good enough. Not those little voices that tell you need to please everyone else because otherwise they might reject you. Not those little voices within that tell you that everything else is more important than your needs. You are the self-healer now. So take some time to sit with this. Get clear on this. Live from this. And I promise you, you will see a dramatic transformation in your healing journey. Loving your comments coming through. So lovelies. What I would love to hear from you is, what's one intention that you're setting for yourself for the next 6 months? And pop it in the comments. One of my coaches talks about speaking things into existence. And I think there's truth to that. Once we share our intentions with someone, there's an added power to them. There's an added, oh, it's out there in the world now. I can't take it back. So we have to live up to it. That's why I make a point of, whenever I have a goal, I share that goal with someone. Because otherwise it's too easy to pretend I didn't have that goal. So let's speak it into existence. What's your intention for the next 6 months? You may want to think about it, but make sure to come back pop it in the comments and think about how you're going to show up for that. Oh, I don't know about you, but I felt like I needed that this morning. Oh, Melanie, yeah. You're going to take the time you deserve. Yeah. Beautiful. To get up at 5:30 and do my meditation and breath work. That's your first intention. Fabulous intention. Has the ability to transform your life, right? So why wouldn't you? Okay, lovelies. So a reminder in terms of, if you haven't already, doors shut to easing into the Vata phase on Sunday evening. I'm still up in the clouds. If you haven't already, I have a community space separate to this, completely free, that I will send you the link to. So this group will be shutting down next week. Come join us in my other free group. There's always lots of free stuff going on. But the other thing I wanted to share with you is, if your main priority is going to be about nurturing the nervous system, if you're not particularly bothered about the physical elements of menopause, but you really want to support yourself through stress and keeping that nervous system feeling very nurtured, very balanced, then I will also open the doors to my membership this weekend just for you guys in here. I will post a link to that, so go check it out. In there, we do retreats, we have a book club, we have weekly awakening practices. So a real beautiful mix. Oh my God, I've got a tickle in my throat now. Beautiful mix of practices that will keep you feeling really grounded, really balanced, but also really inspired. We do a lot of work around our intentions. Who are we? What's going on for us? What's our relationship with self-worth, with self-love? How can we lean more into that self-healer? So I will share a link. You can go get some more information if that sounds right for you. Otherwise, reach out if you need anything. For those of you that have signed up into easing into the Vata phase, I cannot wait to work with you. We officially begin week commencing 28th of March. It's going to be fabulous. My first cohort is well up and running now. They're absolutely loving it. And a gorgeous community has already formed, and we're only the second week in, and you would not believe the support they're giving each other. It's fabulous to watch. But yeah, reach out if you need anything. Otherwise, take care of yourselves and have a gorgeous weekend, and I will see you soon. Take care.